Hello, and welcome officially to Beetle and Board Games. So today we are talking about Rival Restaurants, which is a cooking themed game where you're basically a chef and you have a bunch of different powers and you're trying to rack up different ingredients in order to make the best recipes and rack up the most popularity points and of course make your restaurant the best in town. Rival Restaurants is made by Games. Thank you to Games for sending this copy. It plays in 45 to 60 minutes and between 3 to 6 players. So let's get started. Now the set of Rival Restaurants, what you can do is put the main board in the center, or the market board, and then you're also going to put the removable tray right on top of the Rival Restaurants logo. You also have two other logos on top of the board. You have the garbage token slot, and then you also have a slot for action cards, which are these green cards that you're going to shuffle and then also place in the center. Next, you also have two sets of recipes. One is the brown set of basic recipes. You're going to shuffle these and then put them on the side. And then you also have these purple gourmet recipes, which you're also going to put on the side of the board. Then shuffle each of these mini decks and put them on their corresponding shelves. So after you finish filling up each of these shelf spaces, what you want to do is draw from each of these decks and then fill up each of the counter spaces along each market. I said each like 5 times, but it works. Okay, so that was your market board. Now you want to set up all your restaurants. So the game comes with all these restaurant cards. And what you want to do is if you're playing with a small amount of people, so like 3 to 4 people, you can shuffle each of these decks and then give each person 2 more restaurants and then have them pick one. And then from there, the game also comes with these little white little clips. These little white little clips. So the game also comes with these white clips. And what you want to do is go ahead and clip them onto the popularity point tracker on the top left corner of your restaurant. So this is going to keep track of all your popularity points throughout the game all the way till 20. So each player is going to get one of these purple cost guides. And what they are is that they list all of the prices of each upgrade and different ingredients on these cards, and they also list the phase of the day that you're going throughout the game. And then you want to give each player one of the movement wheels. But if you're like me, who's amazing at finding things, you're scavenging through the box and you realize that there are no wheels present until you realize that the solution is right in front of you. It's actually one of these, you can't see from there, come closer. It's actually in one of these secret little compartments in the middle. So all the wheels are actually underneath the removable compartment right in the center. And they look like this. Okay, so give one of those to each player. Now next you want to give one basic recipe and one gourmet recipe to each player. And then you also want to give one ingredient from each of these markets here, except from the mystery mark, also to each player. So everyone should start off with 5 ingredients. Your recipes have to be face up because you're at a restaurant, people need to see your menu. And all of your ingredients, if they match one of those recipes, you can also match it right away. So let's say I got the fried fish recipe. And I also got flour from one of the ingredients that were dealt out. What you can do is put your fried fish recipe right underneath your restaurant, and then also pair it up with the flour that you just got right away. The last part of the whole setup is you're going to take 2 of these chef cards. Okay, and from these 2 chef cards, pick one chef, and then take a corresponding cutout, and put that cutout on top of your restaurant, which will be your character for the remaining part of the game. And the last thing you want to do is go ahead and announce to everyone what your chef ability is so everyone knows what you do. So how do you play Rival Restaurants? What you're going to do first is designate someone as the head chef. And the head chef is responsible for moving everyone from phase to phase once everyone's ready with their turn. Now the game's round goes by days and is separated into 3 separate phases. So what's really different about Rival Restaurants is that it's always your turn. And you'll see how this works in a second. So phase 1 is money move. For money, you're going to take $300 from the bank. And then for move, you use the movement wheel in order to pick your destination for the day. And make sure you choose wisely because you can only go to one place once per day. And then you're going to put your wheel face down and let the head chef know that you are ready to move. Now when everyone is finally ready, you move your chef to the market that you chose and put it on top of the ingredient that you want the most. But let's say 2 or more chefs want the same ingredient. Now begins the bidding wars where you offer an arm and a leg. Get it? It's metaphorical for the whole, oh, it costs a lot, but literally it's... Yeah, I can see that, but where did you get that from? Oh, my niece, she had a Elsa doll. I just popped it right out. You broke a 2-year-old's doll so you can make a joke. Well, I mean, when you put it like that, it's a bit dramatic, don't you think? It's your first time showing this to the world, and this is how you want to be remembered? Good one, Timmy. Act your age, dude. Come on. Let's talk about bidding wars. So, there are 2 chefs that want the same ingredient. What do? Well, bidding wars is when you have to offer a minimum bid for a specific ingredient. So let's say at Carptastic, we are both competing for noodles. Now, the minimum amount that you can pay for noodles is $100. So therefore, $100 is the minimum amount that you can bid for this particular ingredient. So a couple more details about bidding wars. First off is you can compete in only one bidding war at a time, and you can also drop out of any bidding war at any time. And then on top of that, once you're all done with the bidding wars, if there are leftover ingredients on the counter, you can always buy them as long as you have enough money. And it is based on a first come, first serve basis. Phase 1 is the money and move phase, where you're going to get $300 from the bank. You're going to take your movement wheel and then pick a market that you want to go to. And then after the head chef okays it, when everyone's ready, that's where you're going to move your chef to a specific ingredient that you're looking at this market that you chose. If you chose the same ingredient as another chef, that's when bidding wars happens. And on top of that, if you chose the island, you're going to take your chef and then put them on the island, which is the center place right here. And then also, if you have a chef's power that works during this phase, now's the time that you can use it. Okay, now let's shift over to phase 2. Phase 2 is the buy and barter phase. So here you can make purchases only from your current location, and you can trade with other chefs. You can buy as much as you want in your location. So if you're at a market, you can buy any face-up ingredients on the counter or face-down ingredients from the shelf. Money, ingredients, action cards, garbage, recipes, upgrades, favors, those are all things that you can trade. Now, there are 2 rules to keep in mind while you are bartering or trading. And that is each chef has to have 1 basic recipe and 1 gourmet recipe. And each chef can also have a maximum of 1 of each upgrade. So you can buy an upgrade for another chef if you're at the island, which is the center. Now, once time's up, put your chef back to your restaurant, but you can finish transactions and trades that you agreed to before the time was called. Now, the last phase is phase 3, which is the cook and counter phase. In this phase, you are cooking your ingredient, and all you have to do is announce what you're making and then have another chef double check your list of ingredients. All those ingredients that you use, you will now put at the center. So now you gain popularity points based on however much your recipe was worth. But if there was garbage in your restaurant before you started the cook and counter phase, you're going to lose 1 popularity point for each garbage token that you had in your restaurant before you made that recipe. There's also a cuisine bonus. So let's say you are making a Korean dish in a Korean restaurant, then you get 1 bonus popularity point. Now, after you figure out popularity points, you're going to do the following in any order. You can use your level up bonus whenever you reach or surpass 3, 7, or 12 points. And they can be a one-time bonus where it takes effect immediately, or they can be a continuous bonus which will remain in effect for the rest of the game. Then you take garbage tokens depending on what is listed on the bottom right of your recipe. And then you're going to put the recipe that you just mastered underneath your restaurant. And then you're going to draw a brand new recipe of the same type to replace the one that you just cooked. So like basic for basic and then gourmet for gourmet recipe. And the last step is to restock the counter. So we're picking our head chef. We are getting $300 from the bank. We're taking a movement wheel in order to pick the market that we want to travel to. That's phase 1. And then phase 2 is the buy and barter phase, where we're going to buy different ingredients and then trade with other chefs, depending on whether you're located at the market or whether you're located in the island or on the island in the middle. And then from there, you're going to go to the last phase, which is the cook and counter phase. Now you're going to cook all the recipes that you were looking for. And to finish up, you're just going to restock the market, and that's basically the gist of how you play. So let's go over a couple of side details now. The kitchen island isn't really a market, it's more of a supplier where you can buy action cards, buy upgrades, and dispose of garbage, and also sell chocolate. So you take out garbage by going to the island, and you can get rid of it for $100 each. Any other garbage that you accumulated is placed in your restaurant storage. You also have 5 different restaurant upgrades that are listed here, where you can draw new basic or gourmet recipes. You can also cook 2 recipes at once. You can increase your daily income through social media advertising or through celebrity endorsement. Now, the green action cards that we talked about earlier, these are really strong one-time use cards, and they can only be used during the money and move phase or during the buy and barter phase, and the timer will stop when the chef is using an action card. So action cards you can use only once per day, but you can use it as soon as you buy it. They also take priority over a chef's powers, and they can override other action cards. So this is where I think Rival Restaurants really picks up the pacing for the game. Now let's say I play the armed robbery card. Wait, let's make this a little more cinematic. I'm supposed to cover the lens so you can... What are you doing? I play. The armed robbery card lets me steal half of your money. Oh. That's cute. Look at you trying to play dirty. Too bad I have clairvoyance, which lets me negate your armed robbery card. Oh man, you got me. Here, I was thinking I was one step ahead, but I guess I was only 2 steps ahead. I see your clairvoyance, and I play. No, stop it! My clairvoyance. Okay, so that is Rival Restaurants. I hope you liked it. I hope you like the new style of videos I have going forward. If you do, that's so weird. I feel like the subscribe button's looking extra shiny today, huh? I'll see you guys on the next one.